It is a home game for the Falmouth Commodores, but on the radio tonight here at Guv Fuller Field, some technical problems with the broadcast, but currently now on the radio airwaves with you, Matt Venezia, alongside Zach Surdenik and Destiny Sanchez. The show must go on. That's exactly what's happening with the Y-D Red Sox and the Falmouth Commodores. We're going to hand it off to Destiny here. There's a lot of history between these teams over years past. Destiny, you have the recap.
Thanks, Matt. The Y-D Red Sox over the past 2 decades have been a thorn in the Commodores' side. The Doors reached the championship in 2004 and 2007, both being swept by Y-D. In 2014 and 2016, the Doors ran into the Red Sox again, but were bumped both times. Y-D seems to consistently dominate over Falmouth, so it should be interesting to see if this year's Doors team can break that trend.
Well said, Destiny. Yes, I mean, this is a cross-division matchup, so they see each other a total of 4 times on the year, and then obviously if it ends up happening, you meet in the big dance at the end of the season in August, and now Zach will join us in on the broadcast. It should be a good matchup tonight for the Commodores. Isaac Tiger's on the mound for the first time. You're a big fan of his work.
I am. He's got really good stuff from that right side. Comes from the JUCO level, but the fastball can get up to 98. It'll play at any level. 2 different fastballs, a 4-seam, a 2-seam, or a cutter. He calls it a 2-seam, so we'll go with that. And as well as a slider and a changeup, he'll use all of his pitches to try and keep these Y-D hitters off balance.
So as the warm-ups continue for Isaac Tiger, we'll let you know how the Red Sox are lining up. All the way down the line, Nathan Archer leading off will be on left. Brady Day at second base in the 2-hole. Max Vieira at short. Hunter Hines in the cleanup role designated hitting. Jacob Christian at first in the 5 spot. Casey Cook in right. Mitch Voigt in third. The catcher behind the plate is Connor Dykstra. And the caboose, Enzo Apokdoka, in center field. We are ready to go. Isaac Tiger in the full windup, and the opening pitch at 6 o'clock is fouled, screaming to the left.
Like it, coming right at him, getting things started.
Not bad, getting us early and active here. It's actually 2 minutes ahead of the top of the hour. 5:58 first pitch. Second pitch, here's another fastball in there for a strike. Tiger's hat flew off. We've actually seen that a couple times in his bullpens he's taken throughout this year, Zach. He's got a nice set of hair, and the hat doesn't really stay on for the ride. Quickly ahead, 0-2 is Tiger. He'll go from the full wind once again. Goes right at him again. Tried to stop it with his hands. It's right back up the middle. It's a leadoff base hit for the Sox.
Going to be a really big key for both of these teams. As the season goes on, you're going to notice it more and more. Scoring early in games is so important because these pitchers are so good, especially when you get into the bullpen. They can do such really good stuff, and you got to make sure that you get in front early so that you don't have to try and score against those bullpen arms.
And now it's Brady Day. He'll step in here for the visitors. With Y-D stepping into this contest, picking up its first win on the season yesterday. Same with the Commodores, so freshly into the win column for the first time on the young summer. From the stretch, he goes. Behind the plate, Austin Kelly for the Commodores tonight. We'll let you know. In just a second, we'll read the alignment. But we want to thank you for tuning in from Guv Fuller Field. Technical problems with the broadcast. We're on the radio tonight. From the stretch, a fastball from Tigers off the plate and away. 2-0 to the 2-man in the lineup for the Sox today. Started all 56 games this year. A .356 hitter is Day. And now Tiger wants to give a quick look back to Condon. And in plenty of time was Archer.
I like the idea of keeping him on, though. Archer has good speed. Austin Kelly with a really good arm behind the plate. You keep Archer as close to the bag as you can. If he decides to go, you trust Kelly to get him out.
Here's the pitch, quick leg kick, and it screamed foul over the bleachers of the Y-D visiting section.
I love the aggressiveness from Y-D early in this game. They're swinging early and often. They're not letting Isaac Tiger work deep into counts and allow his stuff to get going.
Tiger, before coming, said a look back to first with Archer, and now he will go the quick leg raise. It's a fastball up, and the count is full. For the second time tonight, his hat goes screaming down. And I believe the count is 3-1. We have a 3-1 count here as our getting adjusted here in the booth at Guv Fuller Field. We want to thank you for tuning into the radio broadcast tonight at the home of the Commodores. 3-1 now. Quick step, that's right back to Tiger. They could turn it for 2. The throw's behind Keelan. He still got it there. Back in time to Condon. It's a double play for the Doors, and the base paths are cleared.
Isaac Tiger thought he should have had that first ground ball that Archer hit. Well, he gets a chance to take him off the base paths anyways. Really nice reaction and a nice play by Keelan to still adjust himself to that throw being a little behind him, take him out of his rhythm, but still deliver to Condon in time.
Quick math has that ruled a 1-6-3 double play for the Doors. Erasing the bases as we just talked about, and now Vieira steps in for the first time tonight with nobody on. Now back into the full wind. It's a fastball right down Broadway at 95. We believe the radar gun has been adjusted and now more accurate tonight. That was 95. I'd be willing to bet it's probably coming in hotter than that, though, Zach.
Isaac Tiger's been up to 98. He can really pump it. We'll see where it's at.
Goes back with it here. It dips low and away out of the zone. Kelly kept that in front of him.
That looked like it could have been that two-seam cut type pitch. Has that late movement enough to miss a barrel or two.
From the full wind, 1-1 with 2 gone. It's another fastball foul. It's slicing away back into the bullpen of the Commodores along the right field foul territory. And after that leadoff base hit, now you're 1 strike away from getting back into the dugout, are you, with Tiger?
And I think he got some firewood there.
Yeah, it sounds
Gotta
like
get a new bat.
Getting a new stick of lumber. 15 games and 15 starts for Tiger this year at Butler Community College. 10-5, a 3.93 ERA. Finished off 6 complete games and over 84 innings of work. Very experienced at the JUCO level, but he's ready to go on to the Big 12 next year. Kansas Jayhawk. From the full wind, the 1-2. Fastball dips out of the zone, 95 again. And we might need to get Tiger almost like a chin strap to keep his head on.
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to be the most comfortable for him, but the flow is worth it sometimes, man. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But Isaac Tiger can eat up innings, and the Commodores hoping he can do that tonight.
Absolutely. Another full wind, the pitch. It's a breaking ball. Good take there in the box by Vieira. And suddenly 1-2 works to full.
I think you got to go to your best pitch in this spot. I think the fastball has been his best pitch. We'll see if he tries to get inside on him, and a couple of shakes already.
The full wind once again and the pitch. He slows it down, got a swing and a miss. It will throw down, does Kelly, just for the heck of it, and he makes the play. The putout recorded. It's a strikeout for Tiger. He works through a nice 3-up, 3-down with the help of a double play. The Doorbats coming up for the first time tonight. We'll step away here on the Commodores Radio Network. Bottom of the first, getting ready to be underway. We'll let you know how the Commodores are lining up against Matt Fernandez, the right-hander for Y-D. In the leadoff spot, Gavin Keelan. He'll be at shortstop. Christian Martin right behind him. That stays the same in consecutive nights. He's at second base. Charlie Condon in the 3 spot at first base. Cleaning it up, it's Scott Bandura in right. Ross Highfield DHing tonight. We've seen a lot of success from Highfield with his bat. Should be good to see what he does in the DH role. Mike Handel out in left. He's batting right after that. And then it's Izay at third, Austin Kelly behind the plate, and Tab Tracy straightaway center field, rounding out the order for Jeff Trundy and the Commodores. Now 1-1-1 on the year. That's 3 points out of the West Division of the Cape League. Looking for win number 2.
They are, and they're going to have to face Fernandez here, and that's a tough spot. Fernandez was mainly a 2-pitch guy in college with Pitt this year with that fastball curveball, but just watching him in warm-ups there, he threw a couple changeups, threw a couple sliders. We'll see how much he tries to mix those pitches in this first time through the lineup, and as he gets further potentially against the Commodores, it's really tough for a guy that is a 2-pitch pitcher to go multiple times through the order. Adding those allows him to maybe go deeper into this game for Y-D than we expected when we first saw his name on the card.
So now Gavin Keelan will step in to lead off the ball game, and Keelan to this point of the year, 167 hitter, had a big opening day, about 2 RBIs on the night. Since then, slowed down just a little bit, but a good contact bat leading it off in the left-handed batter's box. The pitch from Fernandez Gave him the hook at 72 to start. It dips low for a ball.
And he likes that curveball. I mentioned the fastball curve in college. He used that pitch, one, to try and get chases, but also he can throw that for a strike.
Fastball, he does throw a quick one here. It's chopped to the first baseman. Underhand throw to Fernandez. That's a 3-1 putout. And the first batter for the Doors retired.
Seen that a decent amount from Gavin Keelan so far this season, just getting out in front of pitches and rolling them over to that right side of the infield. Had a couple of good swings the last couple of days, but just trying to find that consistent swing we saw on opening night.
The man out of Virginia Tech is Christian Martin, hitless in 4 tries yesterday, looking to find his way back aboard. Was held off the bases yesterday in the victory 2-1 on the road at Harwich, our first road game of the year. You were able to listen here on the radio, and if you're just tuning in, some technical difficulties here at the Guv have us bringing it to you on the airwaves. The 0-1 from Fernandez, major hook there, 75. Honestly, looks slower than that, Zach.
It did. He's changing velocity quite a bit, and that's a big, big deal as a hitter because you're expecting one thing. If you don't get it, it's harder to adjust, the more different it is.
Looked like that was a changeup that just stayed diving away. 2-1 now. It's a hitter's count for Christian Martin. Had a sophomore year at Virginia Tech, 48 games started. Had 60 hits on the year, good enough for a 345 average. He gets the breaking ball here. Didn't break quite enough. 3-1 count now to Martin.
Just stayed up a touch. Just trying to get himself back in this count. I bet you see either the fastball or don't be surprised if you see that curveball here from Fernandez to try and get himself back in the count.
It's had a lot of movement, not enough for a strike, though. The 3-1, he's going to give it to him again. Nice call, partner. 3-2 now.
When you're down in the count, you have to go to your best pitch. And for Fernandez, that curveball really can be his best pitch.
Only seen the heater earlier in this at-bat. He's got some pitches to go to here. The 3-2 from the full windup gives him the break again, and Martin comes up empty on the inside. First strikeout of the evening for Fernandez, and the Commodore second baseman sent back on strikes, and that'll bring in the man out of Georgia, the Triple Crown winner of the Dogs. It's Charlie Condon.
Anytime you see a guy throw a curveball or any off-speed pitch that much, you know that he really likes it and has really good control of it. Fernandez showing that off early.
Full wind as Fernandez gave him the hook to Condon. He kind of just sawed off. It might die in no man's land. Diving out in right, and the catch is going to be made. Cook shows off the athleticism and his ability to make the play, and that is an exciting third out of the inning for the Doors. No runs on no hits, and they go down in order. The Commodores hang a 0. We go to the second on the other side of the break here on the Commodores Radio Network. Ready for the top of the second, the Commodores right-hander Isaac Tiger. His hat keeps falling off, and Destiny's got a little bit more about the right-hander. Destiny.
Thanks, Matt. The right-handed pitcher Isaac Tiger from Butler Community College had a great first inning attacking the plate and heads-up fielding, starting that double play in the first. Last season had 14 starts, 10 wins, and 5 losses, with a 3.93 ERA. He threw 6 complete games this season for Butler. He's originally from Oklahoma. He'll be transferring to Kansas next season. He throws hard enough that his hat falls off almost every pitch.
It happens a lot. Thank you for the update. He threw a fastball there, and it was taken out into short right by the Sox for their first hit of the ball game. Excuse me, the second of the ball game. That was Hunter Hines. Our led off with him at the top of the broadcast with our opening the door segment. Hines is aboard on the first pitch he sees.
He is, and they're attacking that fastball, and that's not good for Tiger.
Tiger plunks a man here. That's going to be Jacob Christian, who just newly stepped into the box. And quickly, out of nowhere, 2 are on, just on 2 pitches here in the top of the second.
Tiger did a nice job of getting some ground balls so far. He needs one right here, try and get himself back into this inning after giving up the single and the hit batter.
So a little adversity here early for the Commodores after that relatively quick top half of the first inning. So Isaac looking for the call from Austin Kelly, the backstop out of Lipscomb, who is starting back there for the second time on the young year. Quick leg kick and a go. It's a ball dipping and diving away from the zone. In the box now, it's Casey Cook and right. We just saw him make a spectacular catch out there. Isaac now set in the stretch. He goes a quick leg and drills one that's going to be taken to handle out in center. He's going to make the play on a line. And off the bag, that was Hines, who was just looking to see if it would die. He doesn't try to go to third, and that's a good, quick out in response to the 2 men on.
It is, and now a ground ball can get you out of this inning. Got a tough hitter, though, in Mitch Voigt coming up.
Mitch Voigt, indeed. You, in particular, not too happy of a fan of Mitch Voigt, being
I
that
don't
he's
know
from
about
the other Michigan school.
He is from Ann Arbor, but no, I like Mitch Voigt's game. He's really good down at Michigan. Had a huge freshman season and looking to continue that.
Also is a two-way guy in there. Fastball here on the inner half, in there for a strike. Good call there behind the plate. The umpires will let them know who you are. Rudy Fernbach behind the plate. At first, it's Justin Sims and Dave Turco working it at third tonight. Hear from Arnie Allen Diamond at Guv Fuller Field on the radio today for the Commodores game day. Fastball here, spoiled and slicing foul towards the bullpen of Falmouth. Again, technical difficulties with our broadcast tonight, bringing it to you on the airwaves here on YouTube. We want to thank you for tuning in with us and joining us here. The Commodores 1-1-1 on the year. Meanwhile, Y-D 1-2. Mitch Voigt behind 0-2. A big out needed here for Isaac Tiger. Goes with a changeup in the dirt. Nice block behind the plate by Kelly.
Austin Kelly's been so good at that through his first start behind the plate for the Commodores, and now in the early goings of this one, just keeping things in front of him.
Looked really good behind the plate in the tie, 3-3 against Bourne 2 nights ago. Tiger trying to find the second out of the inning. He goes with a fastball and just barely slapping his bat at it and sending it towards the dugout of the Doors. That was Mitch Voigt doing that, and we'll do a 1-2 again.
Really nice job by Voigt to spoil that pitch away. It's a two-seam fastball that starts on the outside edge and kind of darts away from your barrel as a right-handed hitter, but just gets enough of it to stay alive.
Waiting on deck, it's the backstop, Connor Dykstra, who might get a chance here in the inning. Tiger now goes. It's a fastball, swung on and missed. Second out of the inning, picked up by Tiger. He does it himself. It's his second strikeout on the hill.
This guy just does not seem phased at all. Cool, calm, and collected on the rubber. Give up a couple of base runners early and just lock back in and find your way.
A lot of the Doors pitchers to this point of the year have dealt with some adversity to an extent, and they've really done a great job. I mean, you look back at the Wareham game on the opening night, 4 errors that accounted for those 11 runs for the most part that Wareham was able to put. But since then, they have been shutting it down. Now in the box, first pitch, fastball in the outer half, in there for a strike to Connor Dykstra. We mentioned the catcher in tonight's game for the visitors, a senior entering his senior year out of George Mason, near my old stomping grounds, Fairfax, Virginia, just south of us here on the northeast part of the U.S. 0-1 here, another fastball, and it's heading foul towards the bleachers and right. And using the big fireball pitch that he has in the upper 90s to get ahead here quickly, 0-2.
I think he's going to try and throw that slider here, start it over the heart, see if Dykstra will chase low and out. He's used that as his put-away pitch a couple of times. He went to it 3-2 in the last inning. I think he goes to it again right here.
Zach's calling a shot 1-for-1 on the day so far in doing it. He's calling for the bender. Tiger comes set. A look back to second where he looks at Hines. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball diving. It gets away from Kelly. Everyone moves around 90 feet. And it looked like a changeup there on the look. Kelly gets to it. And now it's third and second. A base hit most likely will bring in 2.
Either way, it was spiked, but the big thing is there's still nothing hurt. There's 2 outs, 2 strikes. You're 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. If you're Isaac Tiger, don't let those runners moving up get inside your head. Just throw the strike.
The only thing that changes now is you don't have a force at third, second,
Correct.
or first, obviously, so that does change the dynamic a little bit. Infield in normal depth. trying to get the man at the plate or to first base. Should it be put in play? Tiger, the pitch, swing and a miss. 90 on the gun, and Tiger's got 3 strikeouts. And more importantly, the Doors put up another 0. Moving right along here as we go to the bottom of the second. Falmouth trying to get on the board. We'll be right back on the other side of the break on the Commodores Radio Network. Through 9 outs in this early part of the ball game. No runs on the big board just yet. The Commodores trying to be the first to do that. Scoring first yesterday in the win against Harwich. First road game for the Commodores. The win went to Jean, the pitcher out of Alabama now. Missed all of last year. Good to see him back with Falmouth for 2 consecutive days. He looked really good yesterday, Zach.
He did, and then he was followed by Casey Hunt. Those guys out of the bullpen were lights out, able to keep that 2-1 lead in a really good pitcher's duel in Harwich.
So now it's Bandura. Had the RBI single back in the first inning yesterday. Should have had 2 base hits yesterday. We have a picture that he definitely beat that play out, Zach, on that ground ball.
Yeah, but you know what? You do what you do.
Massive breaking ball here, never came back. A ball and a strike to the right fielder in the cleanup role for the Commodores tonight.
He is loving that curveball, and I can't blame him with how he's thrown it so far.
Getting ready to see Scott really break out for a big fly ball that we're so used to seeing with him at Princeton earlier this year. Changeup stays away from him. It's a hitter's count now for the big right fielder.
Scott just trying to find a barrel, just trying to hit something hard and get good contact and get himself going. Hitting so contagious as a team, but also as yourself.
3 hits in 13 tries at this point in the young year. The pitch on the way. It's a hanging breaking ball driven out to deep left center. It's a play made by Archer. He moves a couple steps to his left to retire Bandura. 1 away here in the bottom of the second.
Wind is blowing pretty hard out to left field, so that's the way you want to hit it, but just not enough behind that one. Didn't really square that one up.
So now it's Ross Highfill. We've talked about him several times in opening the door in consecutive episodes, may I say. 333 hitter on the year. He's got an RBI in back-to-back games. You remember the 2-run shot last time the Doors were here at home. And then yesterday, what ended up being the game-winning run, an RBI single at Harwich. First pitch, here's a breaking ball, cutting back into the zone for a strike.
And that was that slider that he had been working on in warm-ups, just trying to add another breaking pitch, give the hitters a different look. But if Highfill gets one up into that jet stream, it's going to go.
Another one here, and he does get one driven out to right center, crashing in to make the play. A long run, and Apodaca makes the play. 2 gone, just like that.
You're seeing a lot of inside-out type swings from the Commodores here, just not getting on that pitch from Fernandez.
Fernandez 1-2, an 8.38 ERA at Pitt in his junior year. Trying to clean that up here on this summer in Cape Cod. Gave a breaking ball here to Mike Handel, who finally got his first base hit yesterday. He was very happy to tell us that when we spoke with him during batting practice earlier today. Said it had been a long time coming. A lot of good swings up until then as he fouls one back off the mask of the backstop Dykstra, and he's going to get some time here to readjust himself.
He's been working those good at-bats and trying to continue to do it here, but Fernandez is dialed in right now, finding the zone.
Quickly ahead, 0-2 out of the full. Wind is Fernandez. Breaking ball. Check that, excuse me. It was the heater. It stayed upstairs and actually off of the mid of Dykstra. Buys a ball in the at-bat, does Handel.
Looked like that one just kind of floated out of the hand.
Saw him readjusting the baseball when he got it back from his catcher. Now from the Wind, the 1-2. Breaking ball, trying to get the top outer half. Doesn't get the call. Maybe a friendly decision there behind the plate by Firmbach.
Well, you also have to think where it hits the mid is not necessarily where it goes over the plate, but that looked real close.
Deuces are wild here in the bottom of the second. Fernandez, full Wind, and the pitch. It's a fastball. Spoiled foul over the press box here at the Guv. Matt Venezia, Zach Surdenik, Destiny Sanchez, and so many others putting in the work to bring this one to you on this beautiful evening at the Guv in Falmouth, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. 2 balls, 2 strikes, another heater here. It's going to stay low, though. And from 0-2, it's full.
And this is what we were talking about with those good at-bats being worked by Handel. Just able to battle, see more pitches, and it's more likely that you're going to get a mistake pitch the more pitches you see.
Accepting the sign, and now he'll go once again the full count. It's another fastball, and Mike Handel really working it now. Stays alive, putting it straight back once again.
This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat, and entering this at-bat, Fernandez has only thrown 13 pitches so far.
Here comes the pitch. It's chopped right back to Fernandez. He'll leap and make the play. On his glove side, a flip over to first. Christian makes the play. Rule that one a 1-3 putout. Nothing so far for the Doors in terms of hits or runs. We'll take a quick break and bring you back for the third here on the Commodores Radio Network. Getting ready for the top of the third here with Falmouth and Y-D. A special ovation for Y-D. Brady McNeil getting some honor here today. And Destiny Sanchez has more on what he means to this team.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, Brady was just acknowledged by the Falmouth Commodores here at Guv Fuller Field. He's one of the super fans in attendance tonight. Brady McNeil has been a fan of Y-D for his whole life, and he travels with the team here and there, being their bat boy. And tonight is his first visit here to the Guv.
Yeah, well said. And honestly, we saw him taking some cuts during BP. He looked pretty good and having some line shots there at the end of batting practice before Y-D finished up that part of their pregame routine. Meanwhile, the 0-1 here is going to drop in for a base hit out to the opposite field. Handel takes it, hits a cutoff. It's another leadoff base runner. As once again, Y-D's got a man. That's their third hit of the game.
All of them leadoff singles. Isaac Tiger playing a dangerous game, allowing the leadoff man aboard in every inning, trying to get out of it. But we mentioned his ability to get out of jams. He's used to going entire games. He's worked 6 complete games this season. He can really get it done on the mound, even through adversity. Just going to have to keep that going in a dangerous spot with the lineup card flipping over.
No sign of life in the activity bullpen for the Commodores. Not a surprise with that, but all this ability and the stamina, as you mentioned there with those complete games that Isaac Tiger has in his repertoire. And
you know what I don't think he's going to do, though? I don't think he's going to throw 156 pitches like the guy from Stanford, which was an impressive performance, but man, that's a lot of pitches.
Yeah, you were not too thrilled about that.
I just feel for the guy's arm. I mean, he was phenomenal, though.
Might need to ice that for several weeks, I'd imagine. A pickoff back to Condon, and getting back in there is Apaduca.
I don't think he's going to get a couple weeks because he is right back at it. Stanford knocking off Texas last night. They're going to Omaha.
That's right. Several teams have punched their ticket. Earl Roberts, Florida, to name a few. Laying down a bunt here late. It's back to the third base line. Azez's coming in. He's going to eat it. And a beautiful bunt. Sacrifice or not, it's beaten out for the 4th hit through the first time through the card. for Y-D.
Yeah, that is a bunt single as clear as you can get it. You're bunting for a hit there, and he couldn't place it in any better spot than he just did. That was perfect.
Early adversity and back-to-back frames for Isaac Tiger. The Commodores going to have to be on their toes here defensively. Eze came in for an opportunity, and we saw yesterday at Harwich, he tried a similar situation and airmailed the throw. I mean, decided better of it. It would have been very, very close anyways. Now 2 on, another bunt shown. They do get it down. Kelly's got a play on it to his right. Fires the throw, and he's going to be safe because the throw is a little high. Christian Martin went to cover. He had to lift his toe off the bag to receive it. And I think you got to rule that an E2.
We'll see what it's actually rolled, but at the end of the day, it's tough. And that's a play where bunt coverages in summer ball are so tough because you've got different stuff that you do at your collegiate schools. And so at the end of the day, the throw is a little high, but Christian Martin's running all the way from near second base to try and cover first. That's a tough play for him. Tough spot now.
Also, a big height differential between Condon and Martin between the first and second baseman of Falmouth. Out of nowhere, the bases are fully loaded on a matter of pitches for Isaac Tiger. The corners are in. The middle infield's still in double play depth, playing deep, willing to give up 2 for the price of 1. So now out of the full line, Isaac Tiger, the 0-1, goes fastball. This chopped over the head of Condon. 1 run will at least score. They're waving around the second. It's going to take a big throw. The cut is over the middle. Keelan. It's going to be a 2-run base hit. RBI single for Brady Day. And it's 2-0 for the Red Sox.
And don't be surprised to see some more bunt attempts later in this game from Y-D. They have made this inning on being able to get the bunt down.
2-run score on the play. And just like that, damage has been done here against the Doors early. First pitch here on the way to Hunter Hines. Want to correct that. That was Vera who had the 2-run base hit.